Bottom of the seventh. 2 balls and no strikes. Red roughing on the mound. Roughing checks the runner on second. Roughing gets the sign from Dickey. Roughing stretches. Roughing pitches. Cut inside, cut strike one. Way to go, Ray. All right, Ray, no better up there. Here we go, Ray, no better up there. All right, 1 out. Bottom of the seventh. 2 balls and 1 strike. Roughing checks the runner on second. Roughing looks in for the sign. He gets it. He stretches. Roughing pitches. Oh, no, high and outside, ball 3. Come on, Red, no better up there. In there all the time, Red, come on.
Please, my head is splitting.
I told that boy 109 times. Eugene, stop banging on the wall.
Oh, come on, Mom. This is for the World Series. 1 out. Bottom of the seventh. 3 balls and 1 strike. Roughing checks the runner on second. Roughing stretches. Roughing pitches. Oh, no! High and outside, and JoJo Moore walks. 1 out. First and second as Mellot lopes out to the plate.
Hey, can't he do that someplace else?
I'll break his arm. That's where he'll do it. Eugene, I'm not going to tell you again. Do you hear me?
Come on, Mom. Mellot is up. It's a crucial moment in World Series history.
Your Aunt Blanche has a splitting headache.
I don't want him to stop playing. It's just the banging. He always does it when I'm studying. I have a big test in history tomorrow.
1 more pitch, Mom. I think I get him to pop up. I've got my stuff today.
Your father will give you plenty of stuff when he comes home, you hear?
All right.
I want you inside now. Put out the water glasses.
I'll do that.
Why? Is his arm broken? And I don't want any back talk, you hear?
I'm coming. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Today's game will be delayed because of my Aunt Blanche's headache.
Blanche, that's enough sewing today. That's all I need for you to go fly.
I just have this one edge to finish. Lori, help her take the position. 2 more pages, all right, Ma? I have to finish the Macedonian War.
Always studying that one. She's gonna have some head on her shoulders. Eugene!
What?
Are you coming?
I'm coming.
And wash your hands.
They're clean. I'm wearing a glove. I hate my name. Eugene Morris Jerome. It's the 2nd worst name ever given to a male child. The first worst is Pascal Fleischman. How am I ever going to play for the Yankees with a name like Eugene Morris Jerome? You have to be a Joe, or a Tony, or a Frank. All the best Yankees are Italian. My mother makes spaghetti with ketchup. What chance do I have?
I'm almost through, Mom.
You had better color today, sweetheart. Did you get a little sun this morning?
I walked down to the beach. Very slowly, I hope. Yes, Ma.
She gets all this special kind of treatment because the doctor says she has some kind of flutter in her heart. I got hit in the back of the head with a baseball last month. I saw 2 of everything for a week, and I still had to carry a block of ice home every afternoon. Girls are treated like queens. Maybe that's what I should have been born. An Italian girl.
Eugene!
What?
How many times have I told you not to leave your things around the house?
109.
What?
You said yesterday, I told you 109 times not to leave your things around the house.
Don't be fresh to your mother, Jean.
Was I fresh? I swear to God, that's what she said to me. You know, one day I'm going to put this all in a book or a play. I'm going to be a writer like Ring Warrior or somebody. That's if things don't work out first with the Yankees. Or maybe the Cubs. Or even possibly the Red Sox. Can't forget about those Tigers. If I get down to the St. Louis Browns, then I'll definitely be a writer.
Mom, can I have a glass of lemonade? It'll spoil your dinner.
A small glass. It couldn't hurt her.
All right, I'll finish.
I'll get it. I'm in the kitchen anyway.
Can you believe that? She'd better have a bad heart, or one day I'm gonna kill her. Oh, listen, I hope you don't repeat this to anybody. It's part of my secret memoirs. I call them The Fantastic and Completely Private Thoughts of I, Eugene Morris Jerome. In this, the 15th year of his life, in the year 1937, in the community of Brighton Beach, borough of Brooklyn, Kings County, city of New York, Empire State of the American nation.
A roller skate on my kitchen floor? Do you want me dead? Is that what you want?
I didn't put it there.
No, then who? Lori? Aunt Blanche? Did you ever see them on skates? Take this upstairs. Come here.
Don't hit my skull, I have a concussion.
What would you tell your father if he came home and I was dead on the kitchen floor?
I say don't go in the kitchen, Pa.
Get upstairs. Don't come down with dirty hands.
see why I have to write all this down. In case I grow up all twisted and warped, the world will know why.
Hey, he's a boy. He's young. You should be glad he's still healthy and active. Before the doctors found out what Lori had, she was the same way.
Never. Girls are different. When you and I were girls, we kept the house spotless. It was Ben and Ezra who drove Mama crazy. I've always been like that. I've had to have things clean, just like Mama. The day they packed up and left the house in Russia, she cleaned the place from top to bottom. She said no matter what the Cossacks did to us, when they broke into her house, they would have respect for the Jews.
Who are the Cossacks?
The same filthy bunches live across the street.
Across the street? You mean the Murphys?
All of them.
The Murphys are Russian? The mother is nice. She's been very sweet to me.
Her windows are so filthy, I thought she had black curtains hanging inside.
I was in their house. It was very neat. Nobody could be as clean as you.
What business did you have in their house?
She invited me for tea.
To meet that drunken son of hers?
No, just the two of us.
I'm living here 7 years. She never invited me for tea. Because she knows your situation. I know they're kind. Remember what Mom used to tell us. Stay on your own side of the street. That's what they have gutters for.
That's what they have gutters for. Oh, if my mother knew I was writing this down, she'd stuff me like one of her chickens. Let me explain what she said by Aunt Blanche's situation. You see, 6 years ago, her husband, Uncle Dave, died from this thing. They never say the word. They always whisper it. It was cancer. I think they're afraid that if they said it, God would look down and say, I heard you say that. You said the dread disease. Just for that, I swipe you down with it. There are some things that grown-ups just won't talk about. For example, my grandfather, he died from diphtheria. Anyway, when Uncle Dave died, he left Aunt Blanche with no money, not even insurance. And she couldn't support herself because she has asthma. So my big-hearted mother insisted that we take her and her 2 daughters in to live with us. So they split up mine and my brother's room into 2 smaller rooms. And me and my brother Stan live on this side, and Laurie and her sister Nora live on the other side. Pop thought it would just be temporary, but it's been 3.5 years now, and because of Aunt Blanche's situation, I think my father's developing high blood pressure.
Have some more lemonade, dear.
Drink it slowly. I am.
Blanche, that's enough already. Since 7 o'clock this morning.
Please just stop it.
You'll sew your fingers together.
You're right. I'm getting a headache anyway. I think I need new glasses. Our teacher said we should change them every 2 years.
Would it kill you to put a light on?
I don't have to run up electric bills. I owe you and Jack enough as it is.
Have I asked you for anything? You see anybody starving around here? If I go hungry, you'll give me something from your plate.
Kate, I'm going to pay you and Jack back someday. I don't know when, but I keep my word.
From your lips to the Irish sweepstakes. Go in and taste the soup. See if it needs salt.
Should I put out the water glasses? Or is Eugene going to do it?
Eugene, it's the last time I'm going to tell you. Just do the napkins, darling.
Because of her condition, I have to do twice as much work around here. If I could just make the Yankees, I'd be in St. Petersburg this winter. Her sister Nora isn't too bad, though. At least, I don't mind to look at her that much. You know, to be totally honest, this is the year I started noticing girls who weren't too bad to look at. Nora started developing 8 months ago. I have the exact date written in my diary.
Mom! Lori! Aunt Kate! I've got incredible news, everybody!
Hi, Nora.
Eugene, my sweet, adorable, handsome cousin. Wait till I tell you what's happened to me. I'm fainting! I'm absolutely fainting!
When she grabbed me, I felt her chest. I felt my first chest.
I can't believe this whole day! What happened? Where's Mom? Aunt Kate! I have to tell everybody! Everybody inside for the big news!
What's all the excitement?
You're all red in the face. Sit down, Mom, because I don't want you fainting on the floor.
Sit down, Blanche.
Mom, sit down. You too, Aunt Kate. Okay. Is everybody ready? Stop dragging it out. The suspense is killing me. Say things like that, Lori.
Can I hear what the girl has to say? Go ahead, darling.
I'm going to be in a Broadway show! afternoon, and he picked out 3 girls. We have to be at the Hudson Theater on Monday morning at 10 o'clock to audition for the dance director. But on the way out, he took me aside and said the job was as good as mine. I have to call him tomorrow. I may have to go into town to talk to him about it. We start rehearsing a week from Monday, and then it goes to Philadelphia, Wilmington, and Washington, and then it comes to New York the second week in December. There are 9 big musical numbers, and there's going to be a big tank on the stage that you could see through. And the big finale all takes place with the entire cast all underwater. I mean, can you believe it? I'm going to be in a Broadway show, Mama!
What is she talking about?
Do I know? Am I her mother?
How can you be in a show? Don't you have to sing and act? I can sing. No, you can't. A little. No, you can't. I can carry a tune. No, you can't. Well, I probably won't have to. They're just looking for dancers. On Broadway, you have to sing and act. How do you know? You never saw a Broadway show. Did you tell him how old you were? He didn't ask me.
He didn't ask you if you were 16.
He just asked me to audition. My God, isn't anybody excited?
I am. That's the most fantastic thing I've ever heard.
Thanks, Eugene. I'm glad somebody's excited.
How can you go to Philadelphia? What about school?
School? Mama, this is a Broadway show. This is what I want to do with my life. Algebra and English isn't going to help me on the stage. Orange! Will you stay out of this?
You mean not finish school? Not get a high school diploma? Do you know how hard it is for a girl these days to get a decent job without a high school diploma?
But I got a job, and I'll be making more money than 10 girls with diplomas. You don't have it yet. You still have to audition. It's as good as mine. Mr. Beckman told me.
And what if you, God forbid, broke a leg or got heavy? How long do you think they're going to keep you? Dancing is just for a few years. A diploma is forever. I know, I never had one. I know how hard it is to find a decent job. And Kate knows. Tell her, Kate.
It's very hard.
Then why did you send me to dancing school for 3 years? Why do I spend 2 hours a day on a subway 4 days a week with money that you make going half blind over a broken sewing machine? Why, Mama?
Because it's my pleasure. Because I know how you love it. Because you asked me.
Then I'm asking you something else, Mama. Let me do something for you now. I could be making almost $60 a week. Maybe even more. In 2 years, when I get out of high school, I wouldn't be making that much with a college diploma.
I can't decide this now. Uncle Jack will be home soon. We'll discuss it then.
I have to know now, Mama. I have to call Mr. Beckman to let him know if I can go to the audition on Monday. At least let me audition. Let me find out first if they think I'm good enough. Please don't say no until Monday.
It was a tense moment for everyone. I love tense moments. Especially when I'm not the one they're all tense about.
Well, God knows we could use the money. We all owe Aunt Kate and Uncle Jack enough as it is. I think they have as much say in this as I do. How do you feel about it?
Me? I never voted before in my life. Why should I start with my own family? I have to heat up the potatoes.
Then we'll leave it up to Uncle Jack. We'll let him make the decision.
Why, Mama? I love him, but he's not my father.
Because I need help. Because I don't always know what the right thing to do is. Because I say so, that's why.
Eugene M. Jerome of New York cast 1 vote for yes. What I'm about to tell you next is so secret and private that I've left instructions for my memoirs not to be opened until 30 years after my death. Eugene M. Jerome have committed a mortal sin by lusting after my cousin Nora. I can tell you all this because I'll be dead when you read it. If I had my choice between a tryout with the Yankees and actually seeing her bare breasts for 2.5 seconds, I'd have some serious thinking to do.
I need bread.
What?
I don't have enough bread. Run across the street to Greenblatt's and get a fresh rye bread.
Again? I went to Greenblatt's this morning.
So you'll go again this afternoon.
That's all I ever do is go to the store. When I grow up, that's all I'll be trained to do is go to the store.
You don't want to go? Never mind, I'll go.
Don't do that. Don't make me feel guilty. I'll go.
And get a £1/4 of butter.
I bought a £1/4 of butter this morning. Why don't you just buy a ½ pound at a time?
And suppose the house burned down this afternoon. Why do I need an extra £1/4 of butter?
If my mother taught logic in high school, this would be some weird country.
So, what are you going to do? I don't know. Don't just sit there watching me. It's my room. It's yours. I don't have to leave if I don't want to. Do you have to stare at me? Can't I have any privacy? I'm staring into space. I can't help it if your body interferes. I bet you're worried. How would you feel if your entire life depended on what your Uncle Jack decided? Oh, God. I wish Daddy were alive. He would have said no. He was really strict. Not with me. I mean, he was strict, but he was fair. If he said no, he always gave you a good reason. He always talked things out. I wish I could call him somewhere now and ask him what to do. 1 3-minute call to heaven is all I ask. Ask Mom. She talks to him every night. Who told you that? She did. Every night before she goes to bed, she puts his picture on her pillow and talks to him. Then she pulls the blanket halfway up the picture and goes to sleep. She does not. She does too. Last year when I had the big fever, I slept in bed with the both of them. In the middle of the night, my face fell on his picture and cut my nose. She never told me that. That's weird. I can't remember him much anymore. I used to remember him real good, but now he disappears a little bit every day. Oh, God. He was so handsome. Always dressed so dapper. His shoes always shined. I always thought he should have been a movie star, like Gary Cooper. Only very short. Mostly I remember his pocket. His pocket? When I was 6 or 7, he always brought me home with a surprise, like a Hershey or a top. He'd tell me to go get it in his coat pocket. So I'd run to the closet, put my hand in, and it felt as big as a tent. I wanted to crawl in there and go to sleep. There were all these terrific things in there, like juicy fruit gum or spearmint lifesavers, and bits of cellophane, and crumbled pieces of tobacco, and movie stubs, and nickels, and pennies, and rubber bands, and paper clips, and his gray suede gloves that he wore in the wintertime. With the stitched lines down the fingers. I remember. Then I found his coat in Mom's closet, and I put my hand in the pocket, and everything was gone. It was emptied and dry cleaned, and it felt cold. And that's when I knew he was really dead. Oh, God, I wish we had our own place to live. I hate being a boarder. Listen, let's make a pact. The first one who makes enough money promises not to spend any on herself, but saves it to get a house for you and me and Mom. That means every penny we get from now on, we save for the house. We can't buy anything, no lipstick or magazines or nail polish or bubblegum, nothing. Is it a pact? What about movies? Movies too. Starting when? Starting today, starting right now. Can we start Sunday? I wanted to see The Thin Man. Who's in it? William Powell and Myrna Loy. Okay, starting Sunday. I'll go with you Saturday.
Sid Luckman of Columbia waits the snap from center. The snow is coming down in a near blizzard. He gets it, he fades back, he passes, and Luckman's got it! He's got his own pass! He's on the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. Touchdown! And Columbia wins! They beat the mighty Crimson of Harvard 13-12. Listen to that crowd roar!
Eugene, stop that yelling. I have a cake in the oven.
Hey, Eugene. Hi, Stan. My brother Stan. He's okay. You like him. What are you doing home so early?
Is Pop home yet?
No. Did you ask about the tickets?
What tickets?
You said your boss knew this guy who could get us tickets to the Yankee game. You didn't ask.
Me and my boss had other things to talk about today. I'm in trouble, Huge. I mean, really big trouble.
This really shocked me, because Stan is the kind of guy who could talk himself out of any kind of trouble. What kind of trouble, Stan?
I got fired today.
Fired? You mean for good?
You don't get fired temporarily. It's permanent. It's a lifetime firing.
Why? What happened?
It was on account of Andrew, the guy who fleeced up. Well, he was cleaning the floor in the stockroom, and he lays his broom against the table to put some junk in the trash can. And his broom slips and knocks a can of linseed oil over the table and ruins 3 brand new hats. $9 Stetsons. So Mr. Straheim sees the oily hats, and he gets crazy. He says to Andrew that the hats are going to have to come out of his salary, $27. So Andrew starts to cry.
He cried?
42 years old, and he's bawling all over the stockroom. I mean, the man hasn't got too much furniture upstairs anyway, but he's real sweet. He always brings me coffee, always laughing and telling me jokes. I never understand them, but I laugh anyway, make him feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I said to Mr. Stroheim that I didn't think that was fair. It wasn't Andrew's fault.
You said that to him?
Sure, why not? And then Mr. Stroheim says to me, you want to pay for the hats, Big Mouth? And I said, no, I don't want to pay for the hats. So he says, then mind your own business, Big Mouth.
Holy mackerel.
So then Mr. Stroheim looks at me like machine gun bullets are coming out of his eyes. And then he calmly sends Andrew over to the factory to pick up 3 brand new hats, which is usually my job. So guess what Mr. Stroheim tells me to do?
What?
He tells me to sweep up. He says for this week I'm the cleaning man.
Oh, my God.
Everybody is watching me now, waiting to see what I'm going to do. Even Andrew stopped crying and watched. I felt that the dignity of everybody who worked in that store was in my hands. So I grit my teeth, and I pick up the broom, and there's this big pile of dirt right in the middle of the floor.
Yeah?
And I sweep it all over Mr. Stroheim's shoes. Andrew just finished shining them this morning. If you want to talk about irony.
I'm dying. I swear to God, I'm dying.
You can see everybody in the place is about to bust a gut. Mrs. Mulcahy, the bookkeeper, can hardly keep her false teeth in her mouth. Andrew's eyes are hanging 5 inches out of their sockets.
This is the greatest story in the history of the world.
So Mr. Stroheim grabs me, and he pulls me into his back office, and he closes the door, and he pulls down the shades. He gives me his whole story about how he was brought up in Germany to respect his superiors, that if he ever did such a thing like you do, they would beat me in their cup until they carried me away dead.
Perfect, Stan. You got him down perfect.
Yeah, and then I say to Mr. Stroheim, yeah, but we're not in Germany, old buddy.
You said that to him?
No, to myself. I didn't want to go too far.
I was wondering.
So, anyway, he says to me that he's always liked me and always thought I was a good boy, and that he was going to give me one more chance. He wants a letter of apology, and then if that letter of apology isn't on his desk by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I can consider myself fired.
I would have had a heart attack. What did you say?
I said I wasn't going to apologize, and Andrew still had to pay for the hats. He said that was between him and Andrew, and that he expected the letter from me in the morning. I said goodnight, walked out of his office, got my hat, and went home 10 minutes early.
I'm sweating. I swear to God, I'm sweating all over.
I don't know why I did it, but I got so mad. I mean, it just wasn't fair. If you give in when you're 18 and a half, you'll give in for the rest of your life, don't you think?
I suppose so. So what's the decision? Are you going to write the letter?
No,
Positively?
positively. Except I'll have to discuss it with Pop. I know we need the money, but he told me once you always have to do what you think is right in this world and stand up for your principles.
But what if he thinks you're wrong? Then you should write the letter.
He won't. He's going to leave it up to me. I know it.
But what if he says, write the letter?
Well, that's something we won't know until after dinner, will we?
All in all, this was shaping up to be one heck of a dinner. I've always had this two-way thing about my brother Stanley. Either I worshiped the ground he walked on, or I hated him so much I wanted to kill him. I guess you know how I feel about him today.
All day it takes to bring home bread. Give Aunt Blanche the butter. She's waiting for her.
I was home half an hour ago. I was talking to Stan.
Hey, I got a letter from Rosalind Weiner. Remember her? She moved to Manhattan. They live on Central Park West.
Why not? Her father's a gangster. Her mother is worse. I don't get a kiss hello.
No, I was going to save it up and give you a giant one for Christmas.
We don't have Christmas. I'll take it now, thank you. A hug, too? When do I ever get a hug from you? You must have done something wrong.
You're too smart for me, Mom. I robbed a barber shop today.
Is that why you look so tired? You don't get enough sleep. Running around all night with your 200 girlfriends?
130. That's all I have, 130.
How do you get any work done?
I get it done.
And your boss doesn't say anything to you about being tired?
About being tired? No, he doesn't.
Did you ask him about Thursday?
What?
You were going to ask him about getting paid this Thursday, so that I could take green lights on Friday. Saturday is a holiday.
Oh. No, I forgot. I'll ask him tomorrow.
If it's a problem, don't ask him. Green light can wait. Your boss is more important.
That's not true, Mom. My boss isn't any more important than Mr. Greenblatt.
Oh, God. As if things weren't bad enough. And now this. Liver and cabbage for dinner. A Jewish medieval torture, no doubt. My friend, Marty Gregorio, an A student in science, said that cooked cabbage can be smelled further than sound, traveling for 7 minutes. If these memoirs are never finished, you'll know it's because I gagged to death in the middle of dinner one night. You all heard that, right? But I was sitting here when that happened, right? You're all witnesses. But I'll get blamed for that anyway.
the beach. What you need is someplace dry.
Like Arizona, Mama.
Should I get the doctor?
No doctors, it's better. It's going away.
I can still hear the whistle.
Will you shut up? Nora, help Aunt Caitlin kitchen. I cook over the slate.
Never mind, Eugene will do it. You go up and get your mother's medicine. Laura, you sit here quiet and watch your mother. You look as pale as a ghost. Eugene!
Come in here and help me. In a minute, Ma. Pop's home. I'd now like to introduce you to my pop, a real hard worker. He was born at the age of 42. Hi, Pop. How you doing?
How am I doing?
Here, let me get one of these for you, Pop.
Too heavy, your arches.
Oh, no, I can get it easy. I just have to get a good grip, that's all. Are you okay, Pop?
I want to sit a few minutes. I'm resting, that's all. Give me a glass of cold water.
Okay, I'll be out for the other box in a minute. King Kong couldn't lift these things. You know what's in here? Noisemakers and party favors. Pop delivers them every night to nightclubs and hotels when he's done with his usual work, which is cutting material for ladies' raincoats.
Did you do your homework today?
Not all of it. Mom sent me to the store 15 times. Amos and Andy's on tonight.
Do your homework. Then we'll discuss Amos and Andy.
Here's your medicine, Ma. Lori, go get some water.
Lori shouldn't be running.
I'll get it, Nora.
No trouble at all.
2.5 seconds. That's all I ask.
When are you going to speak to Uncle Jack, Mom?
When I speak to him, that's when I'll speak to him.
Tonight? I have to know tonight.
I'll see. If he's not too tired, I'll talk to him tonight.
Jack's home. We'll leave in 10 minutes. Nora, darling, go get Stanley. How's your mother, Lori?
Much better. The whistling stopped.
What's wrong? Eugene said you were holding your chest.
I wasn't holding my chest.
You have to carry that box every day, back and forth through the city. You don't work hard enough, Jack.
You want the box? It's yours. Keep it. I don't need it anymore.
What do you mean?
Del Mar's party favors went out of business. They closed him out. The man is bankrupt.
Oh, my God.
He didn't even warn me it was coming.
You told me he lived on Riverside Drive with a view of the river. A $300 a month apartment he had. A man like that.
Who are the ones you think go bankrupt? You live in a cold water flat on Delancey Street. Bankruptcy is the one thing God spares you.
All right. You can always find good in something. You don't have to lug that box anymore. You don't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. We can all eat dinner at a decent hour. You still have your job at Jacobson's. We won't starve.
I can't make ends meet with what I make at Jacobson's. Not with 7 people to feed.
They'll hear you. We'll talk later.
I can't get by without that extra $25 a week. I can't pay rent and insurance and food and clothing for 7 people. Christmas and New Year's alone, I made $150.
Stop it, Jack. You'll only get yourself sick.
He didn't even pay me for the week, the bastard. 5 salesmen are laid off, and he's going to a Broadway show tonight. I stuffed every hat and noisemaker I could in that box and walked out of there. At his funeral, I'll put on a pointy hat and blow a horn, the bastard.
Don't talk like that. Something will come up. You'll go to temple this weekend. You'll pray all day Saturday.
There's men in that temple who've been praying for 40 years. Do you know how many prayers have to get answered before my turn comes up?
Your turn will come up. God has time for everybody.
Here's your water, Aunt Blanche. Where's Nora?
She went up to call Stanley for dinner.
You want to go for a walk tonight?
I have homework. What do you want to walk with me for?
You, me, and Nora. I just wanted to take a walk.
I think Nora has a date with Larry Clerman.
Larry Clerman? She likes Larry Clerman?
I don't know. Ask her yourself.
Larry Clerman? He's my father's age.
20.
Same thing. Do you think he's good looking?
I don't think anybody's good looking.
Larry Clerman? He doesn't even have a chin. His tie comes all the way up to his teeth.
Eugene, where's your father's water?
And coming. Now I've got Larry Clerman to contend with. Here's your water, Pop.
Don't drink so fast.
Pop, you think you can look at my sneakers?
What does he want to look at your sneakers for?
They have no soles. They're hanging on by a tiny piece of rubber. When I run out for a fly ball, I have to clench my toes.
I bought you new sneakers last month.
No, not last month, Pop. Last year. I can only wear them 2 hours a day because my feet can't grow in them.
This is no time to talk to your father about sneakers. He's got enough in his mind. Turn the light on the liver. We'll talk about this tonight. You'll eat a nice dinner, relax, and when everyone's asleep, we'll figure things out calmly. I don't like it when you get upset.
Well, I'm feeling a lot better. Come and help me with dinner?
Do you think she'll ever get married?
Blanche?
She's not unattractive. I see men look at her on the beach. What does she want to waste her life in this house for?
She's raising 2 children.
So why does she ever go out? If she wants to meet people, I know plenty of single men.
Blanche is the type to get married.
She was married once, wasn't she? Those are the type that get married.
Dave was different. She's not interested in other men.
What about that Murphy fellow across the street? He's plenty interested, believe me.
That drunk? The man can't find his way into the house at night. He slept in the doorway once in the rain. He was there when I went out to get the milk.
He's got a good paying job, lives alone with his mother, so he takes a drink on Saturday night. Maybe what he needs is a good woman.
Not my sister. Let him meet someone lying in the next doorway. I don't want to discuss this anymore.
Oh, that's fine, because I wanted to talk to you.
About what?
I need a favor, real bad. You're the only one who can help me. Well, when Pop comes home all tired, he usually doesn't pay too much attention to me and Eugene. He's different with you. He's always interested in what you have to say.
Really? I hope so.
Oh, sure, you never noticed that?
Not really. What's the favor?
This may sound dumb, but at dinner, do you think you could steer the conversation in a certain direction?
What direction?
Something like how much you admire people who stand up for their principles.
What people?
Any people. Principles is the important word. If you could work it in 3 or 4 times, I'd be very grateful.
3 or 4 times?
Sure, it'll be easy. I'll mention someone like Abraham Lincoln. Then you look up and say, now there's a man who really stood up for his principles.
I have my own things to bring up at dinner. I don't want to get into a discussion about Abraham Lincoln.
Well, not his whole life, just his principles.
Why would I do such a stupid thing?
Because as of now, I'm unemployed. Unless someone besides me mentions sticking up for your principles.
What happened? Did you get fired?
I will be, unless I write Kaiser Wilhelm a letter of apology. It's really up to my old man. I've decided to do whatever he tells me.
When are you going to ask him?
Tonight, right after dinner.
Tonight? Does it have to be tonight?
That's the deadline. I have to give Mr. Strohan my answer in the morning.
Couldn't you ask your father in the morning?
He gets up at 5:30. My mother has to line up his shoes at night because he can't make decisions at 5:30. What's wrong, Nora?
I don't know what you have to complain about. At least your father is alive and around the house to make decisions. You don't know when you're well off, Stanley. Sometimes you make me sick.
Chapter 7, The Infamous Dinner. It started out like a murder mystery at Blenheim Castle. Nobody said a word, but everyone looked suspicious. It was so quiet, you could hear Laurie's soup going down her esophagus. Everyone had one eye on their plate and the other eye on Pop, except me. I sat opposite Nora. I kept dropping my napkin a lot so I could bend down and get a good look at those virginal, creamy white legs. She left herself unguarded a couple times, and I got to see halfway up her thighs, which led to the golden palace of the Himalayas.
Eugene, keep your napkin on your lap and stop daydreaming.
Stanley knew what I was doing because he's the one who taught it to me. But he had his own problems like everyone else. It was so quiet, you could hear the clock ticking in the kitchen. The tension in the air was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. Which is more than I could say for the liver.
Ketchup? Mustard? Pickle?
Well, I'm up to dessert.
Finish your liver.
I'm finished. Do you see any liver on my plate?
You buried it under the mashed potatoes. I know your tricks. Look how Laurie ate hers.
I had one major problem. One more bite of that liver, and I would have thrown up all over the table. That's a sight no one would have remembered forever. A diversion was my only escape from humiliation. So, Stan, how are things down at Stroheim's? I felt real bad about that, but for the moment, attention had shifted away from my liver.
How long have you been working there now?
Where?
At Stroheim.
At Strohan's? Let me see. Part-time a year and a half before I graduated high school, and a year since then.
So what's that?
2.5 years, counting part-time.
And he likes you?
Who?
Mr. Stroheim.
Oh, yeah. Usually he likes me. Sometimes I'm not sure.
You come in on time?
Yeah,
You do your work?
yeah,
You get along with the other people?
yeah.
So why shouldn't he like you? How much are you making now?
$17 a week.
It's time you moved up. Tomorrow you go in and ask him for a raise.
A raise?
If you don't speak up, people take advantage of you. Tomorrow, you go into his office, you're polite, you're respectful, but you're firm. You tell him you think you're worth another $5 a week.
$5?
He'll offer you $1.25. You settle for $2.50. I know how these things work. You're a high school graduate. He's lucky he's got you.
I don't think this is the time to ask him for a raise, Pop. I think his wife is very sick.
You're afraid to ask him? You want me to walk you into his office and say, my little boy wants a raise?
I'm not afraid.
Your father wouldn't ask you. He didn't think it was the right thing. Believe me, Stanley, now is the time to ask for it.
I'm joking. I think I have a bone in my throat.
There are no bones in liver.
So what's new at dancing school, Nora? Nothing is new. Mind your own business. I was just trying to introduce the subject. I don't need your help. Will you tell her to be quiet, Mother? Laura, you can be excused if you're finished.
What happened at dancing school?
Nora received a very nice compliment from Mr. Beckett. He said that Nora had professional potential.
He didn't say potential. Potential is the future. Mr. Beckman is interested in Nora's immediate present.
Isn't that something? Mr. Beckman is your teacher?
No, he's one of the most widely known and respected producers on Broadway.
Broadway. Imagine that. And how are you doing in school otherwise?
I'm doing fine.
She's doing very well.
I wish I was as smart as she is.
Hey, isn't that the same Mr. Beckman who's producing that great Broadway extravaganza, Abracadabra? Why, I hear if a girl gets hired for a chorus of a show like that, not only is her career practically guaranteed, but the experience she gains is equal to that of a 4-year college education.
Eugene, that's enough.
Only a 4-year college education is equal to a 4-year college education.
You know, I don't think Abraham Lincoln went to college.
What about you, Laurie? Feeling all right?
Yes, Uncle Jack.
You getting plenty of fresh air?
As much as I can hold in my lungs. Nora, did you tell Uncle Jack about the big tank that's filled with water?
Girls, why don't we just let Uncle Jack finish his dinner? If we have something to discuss, we can discuss it later.
Somebody has something to discuss? If there's a problem, this is the time to bring it up. This is the family hour.
Hey, what a great idea for a radio show. The Family Hour. Every Wednesday night, you hear a different family having dinner and discussing their problems of the week. And you hear different recipes. WEAF presents Dinner at Brighton Beach, starring the Jacob Jerome family. Tonight's specialty, liver and cabbage. Tonight's show will be brought to you by X-Lax, the mild glasses.
The whole country's going to hear about a 15-year-old boy gagging on liver.
Nobody has anything to discuss? Otherwise, I'd like to turn on the news.
Well, as a matter of fact,
What?
nothing.
I'll help with the dishes.
You sit there and finish your liver.
I can't swallow it. It won't go down. Does everyone remember the lima bean catastrophe last night? Does anyone want to see a repeat of that disgusting episode?
Why does he always talk like it's a Sherlock Holmes story?
He thinks he's a writer.
And what do you think you are?
Eat half of it.
Which half? They're both terrible.
A quarter of it. 2 bites.
1 bite.
2 bites.
I know him. He'll make me eat 1 bite, and then he'll try to get me to eat another bite. I'll take it up to my room. I'll eat it later. I need time to chew it.
It's not time to waste food. If you didn't want it, Eugene, you shouldn't have taken it.
I didn't take it. They gave it to me. Look, it comes attached to the plate.
Everybody, I'll eat your liver, Eugene.
You will?
It seems to be the only thing this family's worried about. Give me your liver so we can get on with more important things in our lives.
Nora's right. Take the liver away. If nobody likes it, why do you make it?
Because we can't afford a roast beef for 7 people.
I suddenly felt vulgar and cheap.
Stanley, turn on the news.
Laurie, get off your feet. You look tired today.
Can I talk to you a minute? It's something really important.
More important than what's going on in Europe?
Well, it's not more important. It's just coming up sooner.
Hitler's already moved into Austria. In a couple of months, the whole world will be in it. What's the matter with this radio?
Someone's fooling around with it, haven't they, Eugene?
Why did G? Pop had the news on last night.
You weren't listening to the ball game this afternoon?
He's talking about Poland. Damn it! I don't want anyone touching this radio anymore. You understand?
Guess who's gonna get blamed for the war in Europe?
Eugene, bring the knives and the forks.
You really think there'll be a war, Pop? I mean, America, too?
We're already in it. Not us, maybe, but friends, relatives. If you're Jewish, you've got a cousin suffering somewhere in the world.
Ida Kaczynski's family got out of Poland last month. The stories she tells about what's going on there, you don't even want to hear.
Well, how many relatives do we have in Europe?
Enough. Uncles, cousins. I have a great aunt. Your father has nephews.
I have a cousin Sholem in Poland. His whole family.
You know, Dave has relatives in Warsaw. That's where his mother was born.
Well, what if they got to America? Where would they live?
Oh,
Your nephews, Mom's cousins and uncles. Would we take them in?
what God gives us to deal with, we deal with.
Where would we put them?
What are you worrying about things like that now for? Go upstairs and work on your speech.
What speech?
How you're going to ask Mr. Stroheim for a raise tomorrow.
Can I talk to you later, Pop? After you've rested and read your paper?
Lou Gehrig got 2 hits today. Larrapin Lewis hitting 302.
Is that your paper? How many times have I told you you don't read it until your father is finished?
I didn't break it. The print doesn't come off if I take a quick look at it.
Don't be fresh to your mother. Upstairs.
Pop,
Everybody.
I'll come down later, okay, Pop?
Come on, Stan. I have to talk to you anyway.
You're a pest. Did anybody ever tell you you're a pest?
Yeah, I have a list upstairs. You want to put your name on it?
Maybe you should lie down. There's nothing in that paper that's going to cheer you up.
What would we do, Kate? What if they got off the boat and knocked on our door? How would we feed them?
The boat didn't get here yet. I can't deal with boats that haven't landed yet.
Uncle Jack, I know you're tired and you have a lot of things on your mind, but the rest of my life may depend on your decision, and I have to know tonight because I have to call Mr. Beckman to let him know if I can go to the audition on Monday.
Who's Mr. Beckman?
The Broadway producer we talked about at dinner. Abracadabra, remember? Laurie, upstairs this minute. Laura, not now. This isn't the time. It's never the time. You won't make a decision, and I don't have anyone else I can talk to. Well, I'll make my own decisions if no one else is interested. I'm 16 and a half years old, and I'll do what I want to do.
What is this all about?
Go on out.
I'll talk to her. She's right. My decision.
What are you going to tell her? That she can leave school? That she can throw her future away? Is that what you want to do?
What if I'm wrong? What if she cut talent? What is it I'm supposed to say, Kate?
She can't talk to me? It's all the same family, isn't it? I'm her uncle, for God's sake.
She doesn't need an uncle tonight. She needs a father. Go on out. She'll tell you.
I never learned.
Mind if I sit with you?
I wrapped my life up in Dave so much I never learned to be their mother.
If you want to talk, we'll talk. If not, not.
We have enough mothers here. This is a family. The world doesn't survive without families. Laurie, go to your homework. Blanche, make me some tea. You're the only one here who makes decent tea.
Listen, Nora, I know what it's like not to be heard.
You too?
I grew up in a family of 4 children. My father, before he died, never could remember any of our names. My older brother was the big one. I was the little one. My brother Sol was the rotten one. Eddie was the skinny one.
Who am I?
The pretty one. What's the problem?
I don't know. It doesn't seem very important now.
I've never seen you cry over something that wasn't important. I know I'm not your father. It's not my place to make decisions for you. But I can offer advice. Advice is free. If you don't like it, you can always return it.
Can we walk down the block?
Sure. We'll take a look at the ocean. My father always used to say, throw your problems out to sea and the answers will wash back up on the shore.
Did they?
Not in Brighton Beach. Orange peels and watermelon pits washed up. That's why it's good to take someone who knows how to give advice.
Will you stop that? I'm trying to think.
Boy, I'm glad I don't have your problems.
How'd you like an official American League baseball in your mouth?
Dave, listen, I have to have a talk. I mean, a really serious, important.
Everybody in this house has to have a talk with somebody. Take the number off the wall and wait your turn.
Well, you see, I had this dream last night. It was about this girl. I can't tell you her name, but she's gorgeous. Well, we were really kissing hard, rubbing up against each other, and I felt this tremendous buildup. Like at the end of the 39th steps. And suddenly, there was an explosion! Like a dam burst, and everything rushed and flowed out to sea. It was the greatest feeling I ever had in my whole life. And when I woke up, I was Well, I was...
All wet?
Yeah! How'd you know?
It was a wet dream. You had a wet dream. I have them all the time.
You do? You mean there's nothing wrong with you if it happens?
Didn't you ever try to do it by yourself?
Do what?
Didn't you ever diddle with yourself?
No, I never did. I don't do it.
Baloney, I've heard you. You diddle 3 or 4 times a week.
But you're crazy. I don't do it. What do you mean, diddle?
Clap it off. Ask him.
Would you be quiet? Lori might hear you.
There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody does it, especially at our age. It's natural.
What do you mean, everybody? You know guys who do it.
Every guy I know does it.
I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
You can't grow up without doing it. Your voice won't change.
Where do you get this stuff? Is it in a medical book or something?
It's puberty.
It's what?
Puberty. You never heard that word? You don't read books?
Yeah, The Citadel by A.J. Cronin. He never mentioned puberty.
Even Pop did.
Pop! Our Pop! You know what, Stanley? I think you're full of shit.
Hey! Don't you use that language. Who do you think you are? You're just a kid. Never let me hear you say that word again.
I don't get you, Stan. You mean it's okay for me to say puberty, but I can't say shit?
Puberty is a scientific word. Shit is for those guys who hang around the beach.
What do you expect me to say when someone tells me that Pop does it?
I don't mean he still does it because he's married now. But when he was a kid, 14 or 15, the whole world does it.
President Roosevelt who?
These kids are the worst. They do it from morning till night. In college, they sit around their dorms drinking beer and doing it.
Yeah, this is the most useful information you've ever given me. What about girls?
5 times as much as boys.
5 times as much! Is that an actual figure? Where do you get this stuff from?
Pick it up, you learn it. It's handed down from generation to generation. That's how our culture spreads.
5 times as much? Some of them don't even say hello to you and they're home all night doing it.
Just like we are. They have the same needs and desires.
And why is it so hard to touch their boobs?
If you were a girl, would you like some guy jumping at you, grabbing your boobs?
If I had boobs, I'd love to touch them. Stanley, tell me how girls do it, please.
I can't explain it.
Please, Stanley, I'll be your slave for a whole life. Tell me how girls do it.
I need a pencil and paper. I'll do it later.
You want crayons? Maybe you should do it in color. Nora drives me crazy. I think I'm in love with her.
Yeah, well, forget it. She's your cousin.
What does that have to do with it?
It's against the laws of nature. I mean, if she was your stepsister, it would be dirty, but it would be okay. But you can't love your own cousin. Let me give you a piece of advice. When you're going through puberty, never start with anyone in your own house.
Who made up those rules? Franklin Roosevelt married his own cousin?
Well, maybe she was his second or third cousin. But you can't love your first cousin. You get babies with 9 heads. I gotta talk to her.
Still, I'd love to see her naked just once. That's okay, isn't it, Stan?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
You've seen Nora naked?
Sure, lots of times. I fix the lock on the bathroom door and then open it, pretending I didn't know anyone was in there.
I can't believe you! What a pig! What did she look like?
All I can tell you is I was pretty miserable. She was my first cousin.
That was the night I realized lust and guilt were very closely related. I have to go wash up.
Oh, have a good time.
I don't do that kind of thing.
I'm sorry, I forgot it was this Tuesday. I'll change my doctor's appointment.
You don't have to change a thing. The girls will be with me.
Have I ever missed a year going to the grave? Dave is my favorite in the whole family. You know that.
You realize it'll be 6 years? Sometimes I forget his birthday, but the day he died, I never forget.
There wasn't another one like him.
Lori asks me questions about him all the time. Was he funny? What was the funniest thing he ever said, she asked me. I couldn't remember. Isn't that awful?
Sometimes you talk like your life is over. You're still a young woman. You're still beautiful if you never stop squinting so much.
I went with him for 2 years before we were married. That's 2 merry years I didn't have with him. What was I waiting for?
Listen, Jack's company is having their annual affair in New York next Wednesday at the Commodore Hotel. You should see how some of those women get dressed up.
Jack wanted to come with
He's the one whose wife died last year from tuberculosis. He's their #1 salesman. He lives in a hotel in the Grand Concourse. He's a riot. You'll like him. Maybe you'll dance with him. What else are you going to do here every night?
I don't have a dress to wear for a thing like that.
You'll make something. Jack will give you some material. He knows everybody in the garment district.
Thanks, Kate. I really appreciate it. But I think maybe next year.
Next year, you won't have any eyes altogether. What are you afraid of, Blanche? Dave is dead. You're not. If God wanted the both of you, you'd be laying in the grave next to him.
I have plans next week.
More important than this, they have this affair once a year.
I'm having dinner with someone.
You're having dinner with a man? That's wonderful. Why didn't you tell me?
With Mr. Murphy.
Who's Mr. Murphy? Oh my God! I don't understand you. You're going to dinner with that man? Do you know where he'll take you? To a saloon, to a bar and grill. That's where he'll take you.
We're going to Shardov's, the Hungarian restaurant. You don't even know the man. Why'd you dislike him so much?
I don't have to meet that kind. I just have to smell his breath when he opens the window. What do you think a man like that is looking for? I grew up with that kind on Avenue A. How many times have Stanley and Jean come home from the beatings they took from those Irish hooligans? What have you got to talk to with a man like that?
That's why you don't like him? Because he's Irish? What have the Jews and the Irish ever fought a war? You know who George Bernard Shaw is?
I don't care who he is.
One of the greatest Irish writers in the world. What would you say if he took me to Shardov's next Wednesday?
Is Mr. Murphy a writer? Tell him to bring me some of his books. I'll be glad to read them.
Kate, when are you going to give up being an older sister?
I've heard stories about him with women. They like their women, you know. Well, if that's what you want, it's your business.
I decided to go downstairs and quiet my passion with oatmeal cookies.
We took a walk along the beach last Thursday. He was very shy, very quiet. He told me where his parents come from in Ireland. They didn't have it any easier than Mama and Papa in Russia.
Nobody had it like they had it in Russia.
He holds a decent job in a printer shop and he didn't smell of liquor and he behaved like a perfect gentleman.
No cookie for you. Not until you eat that liver.
You're still saving it? You mean it's gonna be in the icebox until I grow up?
No cookies, you hear me?
I just want some water.
You have water in your bathroom.
There's toothpaste in the glass. It makes me nauseous.
Listen, there's no point in discussing this. I'm going to bed. Do what you want.
Kate! Look, I don't want to do anything that's going to upset you. Or Jack. I owe too much to both of you. But I can't live off you for the rest of my life. Every decent job I've tried to get, they turn me down because of my eyes. The thought of marrying Frank Murphy hasn't even occurred to me. Maybe not even to him. But I don't think one dinner at Shardov's is the end of the world.
I just don't want to see you get hurt. I never mean you harm. I'd take anything except when someone in the family is mad at me.
Could never be mad at you, Kate. That I promise you.
Go on, have dinner with Frank Murphy. If Papa ever heard me say those words, he'd get up from the cemetery and stand up at our house with a big stick.
I told him to meet me up here. Is that all right?
Here, in my house?
For 2 minutes. At least meet him, see what he's like.
Tell his mother to wash her windows. Maybe I'd know what he's like.
Can I see Mr. Beckman, yes or no? Talk to Uncle Jack? I talked to Uncle Jack. I want an answer from you, Mother, yes or no. What did Uncle Jack say? It doesn't matter what he said. It's your decision or mine. Who's going to make it, Mother?
I told her if I were her father, I'd tell her to finish high school. If she's got talent, there'll be plenty of other shows. I never got past the 8th grade, and that's why I spent half my life on the subway, and the other half trying to make a few extra dollars to keep this family from being out on the street.
I don't want this just for myself, Mama, but for you and for Lori. In a few years, we could have a house of our own instead of all being cooped up here like animals. I'm asking for a way out, Mama. Don't shut me in. Don't shut me in for the rest of my life. You promised you'd do what Uncle Jack said. He doesn't make decisions, Mama. He offers advice. I want a decision from you, please. You finish high school. You tell Mr. Beckman you're too young. You tell him your mother said no. That's my decision. I see. Thank you very much, Uncle Jack, for your advice. I'll let you know in the morning what my decision is.
Let her go, Blanche. You'll only make it worse.
It seems no matter what I do, I only make it worse. Nora.
What could I tell her? What could I say?
You inherit a family, you inherit their problems.
Well, good night.
Put the cookie on the table.
What cookie?
The oatmeal cookie in your pocket. Put it on the table.
You can smell an oatmeal cookie from 10 feet away.
I heard the door moving in the kitchen. Suddenly, everybody's doing what they want in this house. Your father's upset, Aunt Blanche is upset. Put the cookie on that table!
I heard a lot of yelling. What happened?
I don't know, but it's my fault.
So what are you going to do? Do you want me to speak to Mom? I can tell her I was getting flutters in my heart again. Don't you ever say that! Don't you pretend to be sick to get favors from anyone! I'm not pretending! There's really not a big flutter!
Stop puffing up pillows. The house could be burning down and you'd run back in and puff up the pillows.
Let's go to bed, Jack. You're tired.
When does it get easier, Kate? When does our life get easy?
At night, when you get 7 good hours of sleep, that's the easiest it ever gets.
Ah! Close the door!
Dad, do you think I could talk to you now? It'll just take 5 minutes.
He's tired, Stanley. He's practically asleep.
2 minutes. I'll tell it as fast as I can.
Go on, Kate. Go to bed. The boy wants to tell me something.
Turn out the lights in your room. Don't worry about things. We've always made them work out.
She saw me on the crapper. Nora saw me on the crapper. I might as well be dead.
I have a problem, Pop.
If you didn't, you wouldn't live in this house.
It must be tough being a father. Everybody comes to you with their problems, and you have to have all the answers. I don't think I could handle it.
Stop trying to win me over. Just tell me the problem.
I got fired today.
What?
Don't get excited. Don't get crazy. Just let me tell you what happened.
What did you do? You came in late? You were fresh to somebody? Were you fresh to somebody?
I'm not fired yet. I can still get my job back. I just need you to help me make a decision.
Take the job back. I don't care what it is. This is not the time for anybody to be out of work in this family.
When I was 12 years old, you gave me a talk about principles, remember?
All night you waited to tell me this news?
Pop, this is about principles.
How long are we going to go without telling me?
Will you at least hear my principles?
All right, I'll hear your principles. Then you'll hear mine.
All right, just sit back and let me explain what happened, okay? Well, it was on account of Andy, the guy who sweeps up.
So Stanley began his story. Pop didn't say a word. He just sat there and listened. Boy, Stanley was terrific. It was like that movie, Abe Lincoln in Illinois. Not only was Stanley defending his principles, but he was defending democracy in the United States of America. Pop must have been bleary-eyed, because not only did he have to deal with Stanley's principles, Nora's career, the loss of his noisemaker business, and how to get Aunt Blanche to marry her off, and Laurie's fluttering heart. But at any minute, there could have been a knock at that door. 37 relatives from Poland looking for a place to stay. So finally, Stanley finished his sad story.
So, either I bring in a letter of apology in the morning, or I don't bother coming in. I know it's late. I know you're tired, but I didn't want to do anything without asking you first.
Oh, Stanley.
I'm sorry, Pop.
You should have swept the dirt on his shoes.
I know.
Especially in front of other people.
I know.
He's your boss. He pays your salary. His money helps put food on our dining table.
I know, Pop.
And we don't have money to waste. Believe me when I tell you that.
I believe you, Pop.
You were sick 3 days last year, and he only docked you a day and a half pay. Remember that?
I can see what you're getting at. I'll write the letter. I'll do it tonight.
On the other hand, you did a very courageous thing. You stood up for a fellow worker. Nobody else stood up for him, did they?
I was the only one.
That's something to be proud of. It was what you believed in. That's standing up for your principles.
That's why I didn't want to write the letter. I knew you'd understand.
The question is, can this family afford principles right now?
It would make it hard, I know.
Not just on you and me, on your mother, Aunt Blanche, Nora, Laurie,
Eugene.
Eugene. Eugene would have to get a part-time job. Time he should be using, studying books to get himself somewhere.
He wants to be a writer. He wants to go to college.
I wish that I could have sent you, Stanley. I've always been sick about that.
I like working, Pop. I really do. Listen, I made up my mind. I'm going to write the letter.
I'm not saying you should.
I know. It's my decision. I really want to write the letter.
And how will your principals feel in the morning?
My principals feel better already. You told me you were proud of what I did. That's all I really cared about.
You know what, Stanley? I don't think there's much in college they could teach you that you don't already know.
Guess who I learned it from? Thanks for talking to me, Pop. Good night. You coming to bed?
I think I'll sit here a while. It's the only time of day I get a few minutes myself.
So how'd it go? Do you have to write the letter?
Yeah.
I knew that that's what he'd make you do.
You didn't make me do it. Be quiet, will you? I have to concentrate.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know. You want to help me? You're good at those things.
People used to get paid for that in the old days. Professional letter writers.
I'm not going to pay you money.
I don't want any money.
Then what do you want?
Tell me what Nora looked like naked.
How horny can you get?
I don't know. That's not how you score.
All right. When we finish the letter.
Oh, I don't trust you. I want to get paid first.
You know, sometimes you're a real shit.
Don't talk like that in front of me. I'm just a kid.
And what do you want to know?
Everything. From the moment she stepped out of the shower.
It happened so fast.
It's okay. Tell it slowly. Jesus.
All right. I heard the water in the shower running, and I waited for it to stop. I gave a few seconds for the water to run off her body. Then I knew she'd be stepping out of the shower. Suddenly, I just opened the door. She was standing there on the bath mat with a towel on her head and nothing else in the whole wide world.
Slow down, Stan. Don't go so fast. Slow down.
Her breasts, gorgeous. Like two peaches hanging on the vine, waiting to be plucked. Maybe nectarines. Like two nectarines, all soft, pink, and shining in the morning sun.
Lori, you should see your mother. She looks gorgeous.
I'm waiting for her grand entrance. How's Uncle Jack?
He's resting. He had a nice dinner. You can go up and see him later. Eugene, your father's resting. I don't want to hear any ball playing against the wall.
I'm not playing, I'm writing.
Well, do it quietly.
She wants me to write quietly. If that was the only line of these memoirs that I published, they'd be a bestseller. She's been in a rotten mood lately. 3 days ago, Pop had a heart attack. It was sort of a warning. He'd been driving a cab at nights to make extra money, and he just plain wore out. The doctor says he has to stay home for 3 weeks, but Pop won't listen to him. Mr. Jacobson's brother-in-law is filling in for Pop temporarily, and he's afraid that 3 weeks might turn that into permanently.
I have to talk to you.
What's up?
Not here, in our room. Don't tell anybody.
What's the big secret?
Will you shut up? Wait till I get upstairs and follow me.
If it's about Nora, I'm not interested. Shh. I forgot to tell you, I hate my cousin Nora. She's been real snotty to everyone lately. She doesn't say hello in the morning. She eats her dinner up in her room, and she's been dating this guy Larry No-Chin Clerman every night now for a week. And she's not as pretty as I thought she was.
Eugene, did you bring your father his paper?
I'm coming. I hurt my knee. I fell down the stairs in school.
Well, bring it up. Your father's waiting for it.
If I told her that I just lost both my hands in an accident, she'd say, well, go upstairs and wash your face with your feet. She's sore because her and Pop can't go to their fair tonight at the Commodore Hotel. They had Glenn Gray and his orchestra. I feel bad because she doesn't get out much. She's angry at the whole world. That's why she's making lima beans for dinner.
Would you like a cashew, Lori?
Oh, thanks. And a Brazil nut, too. And one almond.
You must be starved. We're having dinner late tonight. We'll wait till your mother goes out.
Can I have some nuts, Mom?
Just one. It's for the company. We're eating in the kitchen tonight. You and Stanley help with the dishes. You look all flushed. You don't have a fever, do you? Let me see your tongue. It's all spotted.
That's the cashew nut.
Don't you get sick on me, too. If you're tired, I want you in bed.
I have a little stomach cramp. Maybe I'm getting my ladies.
Your what?
My ladies. That thing that Nora gets when she can't go in the water.
I don't think so. Not a Nora. But if your stomach hurts real bad, you darling. I don't think she knows him very well yet.
Do you like him?
I never spoke to the man.
You called him a Cossack. Are those the kind that don't like Jewish people?
I'm sure Mr. Murphy likes your mother. Otherwise, he wouldn't be taking her out to dinner.
If Mama and Mr. Murphy get married, are we gonna have to live in the creepy house across the street? The one with the creepy woman in the window?
We're not up to that yet. Let's just get through Shawdaw's restaurant first.
Lock it, Greta. You just got a paper at me because I didn't bring the evening edition.
Lock the door.
Wow, you look terrible. Your eyes are red. You've been crying.
I'm in trouble, Hughes. I mean, real trouble.
When did you start smoking?
I smoke in the stock room all the time. Don't let me see you do it. It's a bad habit.
And why do you do it?
But I like it.
What brand do you smoke?
Lucky Strikes.
I knew you would. That's the best brand.
Swear to God, what I tell you, you'll never tell a living soul.
I take an oath on the life of the New York Yankees. What happened?
I lost my salary.
What?
The entire $17. It's gone. I lost it.
Where?
In a poker game. I lost it gambling.
A poker game?
You shut up. You want to kill Pop right in his bedroom?
You never told me you gambled.
We would just do it at lunch hour for pennies. I always won. A dime, a quarter. It wasn't just luck. I was really good.
Stan, $17.
When Pop got sick, I thought I could make some extra money to help out. So I played this game over in the stock room at Florsheim's. Boy, did they clean me out. I learned about poker. They really cleaned me out.
What are you gonna tell him?
I don't know. If Pop wasn't sick, I'd tell him the truth. He tells me how proud he is of me last week. He's driving a cabin nights, and I'm playing poker at Florsheim's.
Well, suppose you got lucky, and you won $50. It's just bad luck, that's all, Stan.
I didn't have a chance against those guys. They were gamblers. They all wore black pointy shoes with clocks on their socks. If Pop dies, I'll hang myself, I swear.
Don't talk like that. Pop's not gonna die. He ate 3 lamb chops tonight. Let's see. You could tell him you lost the money. You had a hole in your pocket. You could tear a hole in your
I
pocket.
already used that one.
When?
In November, when I lost $5. He said, from now on, check your pockets every morning.
What happened to the $5? You gamble that away too?
No. I gave it to a girl. You know, a pro.
A pro what? A prostitute! You went to one of those places? Holy shit! Is that what it cost? $5?
$2.50. I went with this guy I know. He still owes me.
And you never told me? How was she? Was she pretty? How old was she?
Don't start in with me, Eugene.
Did she get completely naked or what?
Every time I get in trouble, I can tell you what a naked girl looks like. Do me a favor. Go in the bathroom, whack off, and grow up by yourself.
If you and me would ask the same questions.
Well, I didn't have an older brother to teach me those things. I had to do it all on my own. You don't know how lucky you are to be the younger one. You don't have the responsibilities that I do. You're still in school looking up girls' dresses on the staircase.
I worked plenty hard in school.
Yeah, well, let me see your report card. Today's the first of the month. I know you got it. I want to see your report card.
I don't have to show you my report card. You're not my father.
Yes, I am. As long as Pop's sick, I am. I'm the only one who's working in this family, ain't I?
Oh, yeah? Well, where's your salary this week? Pop?
I hate you sometimes. You're nothing but a lousy shit. I help you all the time, and you never help me without wanting something for it. I hate your disgusting guts.
Well, not as much as I hate yours. You snore at night, you pick your toenails, and you smell up the bathroom. When I go down,
Give me your report card. Give it to me, goddammit, or I'll beat your face in.
Hey, you want it? Take it, you shit!
Four A's and a B. It's good. That's real good, Eugene. You're smart. I want you to go to college. I want you to be somebody important someday. Because I'm not. I'm no damn good. I'm sorry I said those things to you.
I'm sorry, too.
Hi, Uncle Jack. Are you feeling better?
A little, darling. Your mother's not down yet?
No.
I wanted to see her before she goes out.
Oh my God! Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You're walking down the stairs.
I'm all right. I was tired of lying in that bed. I wanted to see Blanche.
How are you going to get upstairs? Do you think I'm going to carry you? The doctor said you're not even supposed to go to the bathroom, didn't he?
You trust doctors? My grandmother never saw one in her life. She lived to be 87.
She didn't have high blood pressure. She never fainted on the subway.
She used to faint 3-4 times a week. It's on our family. We're fainters. Laurie, darling, Go get your Uncle Jack a glass of ice water, please.
Now?
Yes, now, sweetheart. That child is pampered too much. You should let her do more work around the house. You don't get healthy lying on couches all day.
No, you get healthy driving cabs at night after you work 9 hours cutting raincoats. Do you want to kill yourself, Jack? Do you want to leave me here to take care of this family alone? Is that what you want?
You figure I'll get better faster if you make me feel guilty? I was born with enough guilt, Katie. If I need more, I'll ask you.
I'm sorry, you know me. I'm not happy unless I can worry. My family were worriers. Worriers generally marry fainters.
I won't leave you. I promise. If I didn't leave you for another woman, I'm certainly not going to drop dead just to leave you.
What other woman? That bookkeeper, Helene?
Again with Helene. You're never going to let me forget that I danced with her 2 years in a row at the Commodore Hotel.
Don't tell me she isn't attracted to you, Jack. I noticed that right off.
What does a woman like that want with a cutter? She likes the men up front, the salesman. She's looking to get married.
You're an attractive man, Jack. Women like you.
Me? Attractive? You must really think I'm dying, don't you?
You don't know women like I do. Just promise me one thing. If anything ever happened between you and that Helene, let me go to my grave without hearing it.
I see. Now that you're worried about Helene, you've decided you're going to die first.
I had to chop the ice. I'm all out of breath.
It's good for you, darling. It's exercise.
I'm going out. I won't be having dinner. I have my key. Good night.
Nora, don't you want to see how your mother looks?
I'm sure she looks beautiful. She doesn't need me to tell her.
What about Mr. Murphy? I know your mother wants him to meet you and Laurie. He'll be here any minute.
I have somebody waiting for me. I could meet Mr. Murphy some other time.
I think it'd be nice if you waited, Nora. I think your mother would be very upset if you didn't wait to say goodbye.
I'm sure that's very good advice, Uncle Jack. I know just how my mother feels. I'm not so sure she knows how I feel.
Jack, what'll I do?
Leave it alone. It's between Nora and Blanche. It's something they have to work out.
Who is she going out with? Where does she go every night?
With Larry Clerman. He borrows his father's car and takes it to the cemetery.
What cemetery?
Where Daddy is buried. She goes to see Daddy.
What'll I tell her? I don't want to spoil this evening for her.
Jack, what are you doing down here?
We have company coming. Where else should I be?
I looked in your room. I got scared to death.
Well, you don't look it. You look beautiful.
Oh, Blanche. Oh, my God, Blanche. It's stunning. Like a movie star. Who's the movie star I like so much, Laurie?
Irene Dunn.
Like Irene Dunn.
I think she looks like Rosalind Russell. Maybe Carol Lombard.
I think she looks like Blanche. Blanche is prettier than all of us.
I had so much trouble with the makeup. I couldn't see my eyes to put on the mascara, so then I had to put on my glasses. Then I couldn't get the mascara on under my glasses.
Where are your glasses?
In my purse. I thought I'd put them on in the restaurant when I'm looking at the menu.
Make sure you do. I don't want you coming home telling me you don't know what he looks like.
I'm so glad to see you up, Jack. Are you feeling better?
It was nothing. I needed a rest, that's all. Besides, I wanted to meet this Murphy fellow. A stranger comes in the house. He likes to meet another man. Makes him feel more comfortable.
Thanks, Jack. It's very thoughtful of you.
Here, wear this. Don't say no to me. Just put them on, Blanche, please.
Oh, Kate, you're good pearls.
What are they going to do? Sit in my drawer all year? Pearls are like people. They like to go out and be seen once in a while.
Oh, God, I forgot you're missing the affair this year. I'm so wrapped up in myself, I forgot you can't go to the affair.
I can afford to miss it. I don't cheat Jack there the whole night anyway.
Let's see how they look.
I'm so nervous I'll lose them.
All right, tell me I don't have a beautiful sister.
Now I feel good. Now I feel I got my money's worth.
Definitely Carol Lombard.
Laurie, go up and get Nora. I want to show them to her.
She's not here. She left.
What do you mean she left? Without saying goodbye?
She had to meet somebody. She wanted to wait for you.
She could have come to my room. She knew I wanted to see her.
She'll see you when you get home. You look just as good at 12 o'clock.
She's making me pay for this, isn't she? She knows how to get to me so easily. That's what I get for making decisions.
I feel like ice cream for dessert. Laura, do you feel like ice cream for dessert?
Butter pecan?
Butterpecan for you, maple walnut for me. Go up and tell Eugene I want him to go to Hanson.
I'll go with her.
Don't run, Laurie.
Let her run. If she gets tired, she'll tell you. Let's stop worrying about each other so much.
Eugene, your father wants us to go to the store.
Tell him I'm sick. My stomach hurts.
You don't want any ice cream?
Ice cream? Wait a minute. It's amazing how quickly you can recover from misery when someone offers you ice cream.
She's only 16, Blanche. At that age, they're still wrapped up in themselves.
How am I ever going to become a writer if I don't know how to suffer? Actually, I'd give up writing if I could see a naked girl while eating ice cream.
What time is it?
6:30. You'll be here any minute. Get your mind off Nora, Blanche. Don't wear my pearls out tonight for nothing.
Eugene, go to Hanson's. Get a half pint of butter pecan, a half pint of maple walnut, a half pint of chocolate. Kate, what do you want?
I'm in no mood for ice cream.
Get a vanilla. She'll eat it. And whatever Stanley likes.
I need money.
I just paid the doctor $15. Go ask Stanley. He got paid.
What?
Here's $1. Hurry back so that Lori can meet Mr. Murphy, but don't run.
You know what I worry about nights? That she'll run off. That I'll wake up in the morning and she'll be gone. To Philadelphia or Boston or God knows where.
Look how the woman's going on a date. Is that what you're going to talk about? He'll start drinking in 5 minutes.
You think so? What'll I do if he gets drunk?
He'll come right home. Do you have money? Do you have car fare?
No, I didn't take anything.
Wait here. I'll get $5 from Stanley. Now I have something else to worry about.
I could use a cup of hot tea.
Sit there, I'll make it.
We'll both make it. Keep me company. We can hear the bell from the kitchen.
Stanley, are you in there? Open the window. You never get any air in this room. I need $5 for Aunt Blanche. Stanley, did you get paid today?
Yes, I got paid today.
Take out your money for the week. Let me have the envelope.
I don't have it.
You don't have the envelope?
I don't have the money.
What do you mean you don't have the money?
I mean, I don't have the money. It's gone.
It's gone. Gone where?
It's just gone. I lost it. I can't get it back. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it anymore. Just don't ask me any more questions.
What do you mean don't ask any more questions? I want to know what happened to $17, Stanley.
You'll tell Pop. If I tell you, you're going to tell Pop.
Why shouldn't I tell your father? Why, Stanley? I want to know what happened to that money.
I gambled it. I lost it playing poker, all right? Are you happy? You satisfied now?
I'm not going to deal with this right now. I have to get Aunt Blanche out of the house first. I have your father's health to worry about. You're going to sit in this room, and you're going to think of a story. You were robbed. Somebody stole the minute. Somebody stole the money. I don't care who. I don't care where. That's what you're going to tell your father. Because if you tell him the truth, you'll kill that man as sure as I'm standing here. Tonight, after he goes to sleep, you'll meet me in the kitchen, and we'll deal with this alone.
Sorry.
I left my purse in here without my glasses. I'm afraid to put a... Dave? Are you okay?
Nothing's wrong. I'm just all nerves today.
It's Jack. He shouldn't have come down the stairs.
He knows he's not supposed to get out of bed. What did we do to the doctor for? He doesn't listen to them.
I shouldn't have asked Mr. Murphy to come over. It's the only reason he came down.
It's not just Mr. Murphy. It's Stanley. It's Eugene. It's everybody.
Look, I'm sorry about Nora. Jack told me what she said when she left.
Why don't you get your purse, Blanche? She'll be here any minute.
Did Nora say anything to hurt you, Kate? I know she's been so difficult these last few days.
Why is it always Nora? Why is it only your problem? Do you think you're the only one in this world who has troubles? We all have troubles. We all get our equal share.
I'm sorry. Big Mickey, I'm sorry.
Maybe you're stronger than I am. I don't know. You survived Dave's death. I don't know if I can handle it if anything happens to Jack.
Nothing's gonna happen to Jack. He's a young man. He's strong.
When Dave died, I cried for his loss. I was so angry. Angry at God for taking such a young man. I never realized until now what you must have gone through. How did you get to it, Blanche?
I had you. I had Jack. But mostly I had my children. Your children keep you going.
My children.
I wake up every morning for Nora and Laurie.
Nora hurts you so much and you can still say that?
Don't you think we hurt our parents? You don't remember how Mama cried when Celia left home? Sure, it hurts, but if you love someone, you forgive them.
Some things you forgive. Some things you never forgive.
Is the ice cream here yet?
No, didn't you get Eugene?
No, I was across the street in a creepy house. It's just as creepy inside.
You were in Mr. Murphy's house? Why?
She called me from the window. The old lady, I think it's his mother. She said she had a letter for you. I had to go inside to get it.
What did she say to you?
She offered me a cookie, but it was all green. I said I wasn't hungry.
Dear Mrs. Morton, I send regrets for my son Frank. I tried to reach you earlier, then realized you had no phone. Frank will be unable to keep his dinner engagement tonight. for he is in hospital as a result of an automobile accident last night. Although his injuries are not serious, the consequences are. As a devoted mother, I would end this letter here, but Frank has too much fondness and respect for you to hear it from anyone else. While driving a friend's motor car, Frank was intoxicated and was the cause of the aforementioned accident. The truth would come out soon enough, but as I have stated, Frank has too much fondness and respect for you to hear it from anyone else. Please do not think I am a doting mother when I say my son has a great many attributes. A great many. As soon as we can get out of our difficulties here, Frank and I will be moving to upstate New York, where there is a clinic that can help him and where we have relatives with whom we can stay. Frank sends along with his regards, his regrets, his regard for a warm, intelligent, and most delightful neighbor across the way. Yours most respectfully, Mrs. Matthew Murphy.
What is it?
It's not coming.
It was a sad letter, all right, but it sure was written well. Maybe I should have been born in Ireland.
I knew it. I said it right from the beginning, didn't I?
Why is he in the hospital?
He was in an accident. Poor woman.
Does that mean you're not going out to
It
dinner?
could have been you in that car with him. I warned you the first day about those people.
Stop calling them those people. They're not those people. She's a mother like you and me.
And what is he? Tell me what he is.
He's somebody in trouble. He's someone that needs help. For God's sakes, Kate, you don't even know the man.
I know the man. I know what they're all like.
Who are you to talk? Are we any better? Are we something so special? We're all poor around here. The least you can be is charitable.
Why? What have I got I can afford to give away? Am I the one that got you all dressed up for nothing? Am I the one that got your hopes up? Am I the one that got locked up in a jail somewhere?
They're going to put him in jail?
Don't talk to me about charity. Anyone else but not
I
me.
never said you weren't charity.
All I did was try to help you. All I ever did was try to help you.
I know. Nobody cares for their family more than you do. But at least you can be sympathetic to somebody else in trouble.
Who should I care about? Who's out there watching over me? I did enough in my life for people. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. Say what's on your mind, Kate. What people?
You, Celia, Papa, and he was sick, everybody. Don't you ask me what people. How many beatings from Mama did I get for things that you did? How many dresses did I go without so that you could look like someone when you went out? I was the workhorse and you were the pretty one. You have no right to talk to me like that. No right.
That's what. This is all about Jack, isn't it? You're blaming me for what happened.
Why do you think that man is sick today? Why did the policeman have to carry him home at 2 o'clock in the morning? So your Nora could have dancing lessons? So that Lori could see a doctor every 3 weeks? Go on. Worry about your friend across the street, not the ones that have to be dragged home to keep a roof over your head.
What is this? What's going on?
Why didn't you ever tell me you felt that way?
I never had the time. I was too busy taking care of everyone.
What is it? What happened, Blanche?
Lori, go upstairs. This conversation isn't for you.
The ice cream's ready.
Took all these years. It took something like this letter for you to finally get your feelings out?
I didn't need a letter. I just needed you to ask me.
I never spoke to the woman. They lived in that house for 3 years, and I never exchanged a word with her.
What are you walking around for? If you're on a bed, at least in a chair.
If I could take the girls and pack them out of this house tonight, I would. But I can't. I have no place to take them.
What are you talking about? Blanche, don't say such things.
If I can leave the girls with you for another few weeks, I'd appreciate it. Until I can find a place of my own, and then I'll send for them.
You're not sending for anybody, and you're not going anywhere. I don't want to hear this kind of talk.
Stay out of this, Jack. Let her do what she wants.
I have a friend in Louise in Manhattan Beach. I can stay with her for a few weeks. I'll do anything anybody asks me, but I won't be a burden to anyone again.
Blanche, stop it. Stop it right now. What the hell is going on here, for God's sake? Two sisters having a fight they should have had 25 years ago? You want to get it out, Blanche? Get it out. Tell her what it's like to live in a house that isn't yours. To have to depend on somebody else to put the food in your plate every night. I know what it's like, because I lived that way till I was 21 years old. Tell her, Kate, what it is to be an older sister. To suddenly be the one who has to work and shoulder all the responsibilities, and not be the one who gets all the affection and the hugs when you were the only one there. You think I don't see it with Stanley and Eugene? With Nora and Lori? You think I don't hear the fights that go on up in these rooms night after night? Go on, Kate. Yell at her. Scream at her. Call her names, Blanche. Tell her to go to hell for the first time in your life. And when you both got it out of your systems, give each other a hug and go have dinner. My lousy ice cream is melting, for God's sake.
I love you both very much. No matter what you say to me, I'll never stop loving you. But I have to get out. If I don't do it now, I'll lose whatever self-respect I have left. For people like us, sometimes the only thing we really have is our dignity. And when I get old, I'd like to have as much as Mrs. Murphy across the street.
What was it, kid? Something terrible must have happened for you to behave like this. It wasn't Blanche. It was something else. What was it?
Tell the kids to come down in 5 minutes. We're eating in the kitchen tonight.
Get Stanley and Laurie. Dinner's in 5 minutes.
You know, today was the first day I didn't get blamed for what just happened. I felt real bad for everyone, but as long as I wasn't to blame, I didn't feel all that bad. It was then I realized I had a selfish streak in me. I sure hope I grow out of it. Aunt Blanche is leaving. But where? To stay with some woman in Manhattan Beach. Her and Mom just had a big fight.
What did they fight about?
I don't know, I didn't hear it all. I think Mom sort of blames Aunt Blanche for Pop having to work so hard.
Oh, God. Did she say anything about me? About how I lost my salary?
You told her? Why didn't you tell her? I came up with 12 terrific lies for you.
How much money do you have?
Me? I don't have any money.
The hell you don't. You've got money in your cigar box. How much do you have?
I have $1.12. It's my life savings.
Give it to me. I'll pay it back. Don't worry.
What are you putting on all those things for?
In case I have to sleep out tonight. I'm leaving, Gene. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I'll write to you when I get there. When I'm gone, you tell Aunt Blanche what happened to my salary. Then she'll know why Mom was so angry. Tell her please not to leave because it was all my fault, not Mom's. Will you do that for me?
I have 8 cents worth of stamps if you want those too.
Thanks. What's this?
It's the medal you won for the 100-yard dash 2 years ago.
From the police athletic league? I didn't know you still had this.
You gave it to me. You can have it back if you want it.
Well, it's not worth anything.
It is to me.
Sure, you can keep it.
Where will you go?
I don't know. I've been thinking about joining the Army. Pop says we'll be at war in a couple of years anyway. I could be a sergeant or something by the time it starts.
Hey, if it lasts long enough, I can join too. Maybe you can get in the same outfit.
You don't go in the Army unless they come and get you. You go to college, do you hear me? Promise me you'll go to college.
I'll probably have to quit school and get a job if you leave. You'll need the money.
I'll send home my paycheck every month. A sergeant in the Army makes real good dough. Well, I better be going. Why do you have to leave? Don't start crying, they'll hear you.
They won't stay mad at you forever, Stan. I was mad at you when I got over it.
Because of me, this whole family is breaking up. Do you want Nora to end up like one of those cheap boardwalk girls?
I don't care. I'm not in love with Nora anymore.
Well, you should care. She's your cousin. Don't turn out to be like me.
I don't see what's so bad about you, Stan.
Take care of yourself, Gene. If you ever write a story about me, call me Hank. I've always liked the name Hank.
I guess there comes a time in everyone's life when they say, this moment is the end of my childhood. When Stanley closed that door, I knew that moment had come to me. I was lonely, and I was scared. And I hated my parents for making him so unhappy. Even if they were right, I still hated them. I even hated Stanley a little, because he left me here to grow up all by myself.
Eugene, Laurie, it's dinner. I'm not waiting all night.
And I hated her for leaving Stanley's name out when she called us down for dinner. You know, sometimes I don't think parents know how cruel they can be. At dinner, I tried to break the news, but the words just wouldn't come out. I even left the table without having my ice cream. If it's suffering I was after, I was beginning to learn all about it.
It's 10 o'clock. Where's Stanley so late?
Never mind, Stanley. You should have been in bed an hour ago.
Why won't you tell me what happened between you and them?
I'm tired. I've had enough to deal with for one day.
I wanted to go to temple with you on Saturday. They stopped going for 3 or 4 weeks. They forget their religion altogether.
The house became quieter than I ever heard it before. Aunt Blanche was in her room packing, and Mom and Pop were in their room. And I had to talk to somebody, or else I'd go crazy. Guess I didn't have much of a choice. Laurie, it's Eugene. Can I come in?
What do you want? I'm reading.
I just wanted to talk, that's all.
I didn't say yes, did I?
Well, I'm already in, so it's too late. What are you reading?
The Citadel by A.J. Cronin.
Oh, I read it. It's terrific. So your mom's leaving.
We're going too as soon as she finds a job.
When you're done, I'll be the only one left.
You mean you and Stanley?
Stanley's gone. I think he went to join the army or something.
You mean he ran away?
No, only kids run away. When you're Stanley's age, you just leave.
He didn't say goodbye.
My parents don't even know he's gone yet. I have to go tell them now.
I wonder if I'll have to go to a different school.
They'll have to make all new friends.
I don't care. I don't have any here anyway.
Because you never leave the house.
I can't because of my condition.
You don't look sick. Do you really feel sick?
No, but my mother tells me I am.
I don't trust parents anymore.
Why would she lie to me?
To keep you around. Once they find out Stanley's gone, they're going to handcuff me to my bed.
I don't care. I'll never leave my mother. Even when I'm older. Even if I get married, I'll never leave my mother.
Oh, yeah? Mr. Murphy across the street never left his mother, and he ended up in jail.
None of this would have happened if my father was alive.
How did you feel when he died?
I don't remember. I cried a lot because I saw my mother cry.
I hated it if my father died. Especially with Stanley gone. We'd have to move out of this house.
Well, then you and your mother could come and live with us.
So if we all end up living together, what's the point of breaking up now?
I don't know. I have to finish reading.
You don't get too far talking to Laurie. Sometimes I think that flutter in her heart is really in her brain. That night I broke the news to my parents. The monumental news that their eldest son had run off. Probably to get killed in France fighting for his country. My mother said, go to bed. He'll be home when it gets colder. I couldn't believe it. It was then I realized Stanley and I were probably adopted. I waited out on the porch all night till it got cold out. But Stanley never showed up.
Talked earlier if you hadn't come home at 12 o'clock at night.
How was your dinner?
I didn't go. Mr. Murphy was in an accident.
I'm sorry. Is he all right?
He's got his problems like the rest of us. I was very hurt that you didn't say goodbye.
I was late. Someone was waiting for me.
So was I. You knew it was important to me.
I'm not feeling very
You
well.
purposely left without seeing me. You've never done that before.
Can we talk about this in the morning?
I won't be here in the morning.
Then tomorrow night.
I'm leaving, Nora. I'm moving out in the morning.
What are you talking about?
Aunt Kate and I had a fight tonight. We said some terrible things to each other. Things that have been bottled up since we were children. I'm going to stay with my friend Louise in Manhattan Beach until I can find a job. Then I'll send for you and Laurie.
I can't believe it. You mean it's all right for you to leave us, but it wasn't all right for me to leave you?
I was never concerned with your leaving me. It was your future I was worried about.
It was my future. Why couldn't I have something to say about it?
Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I never made the decisions for this family. Your father did. Everyone always took care of me. My mother, my sisters, your father, even you and Laurie. I've been a very dependent person all my life.
Maybe that's all I'm asking for. To be independent.
You earn your independence. You don't take it at the expense of others. Would that job even be offered to you if someone in this house hadn't paid for your dancing lessons and kept a roof over your head and food on your table and clothes on your back? If anyone's going to pay back Uncle Jack, it'll be me. Doing God knows what, I don't know. But one thing I'm sure of. I'll steal before I let you show that man 1 ounce of ingratitude.
So I have to give up the one chance I may never get again. Is that it? I'm the one who has to pay for what you couldn't do with your own life.
What right do you have to judge me like that?
Judge you? I can't even talk to you. I don't of Lori because she was lucky enough to be born sick. I can never turn a light on at night or read in bed because Lori always needed her precious sleep. I could never have a friend over on the weekends because Lori was always resting. I used to pray I'd get some terrible disease or get hit by a car, so then once, maybe just once, I'd have a leg all twisted and crippled. And I could crawl into bed next to you on a cold, rainy night and hold you and talk to you until I fell asleep in your arms. Just once.
Nora, is that what you really think of me?
Is it any worse than what you think of me?
I'm not going to let you hurt me, Nora. I'm not going to let you tell me that I don't love you or that I haven't tried to give you as much as I gave Lori. God knows I'm not perfect because enough angry people in this house told me so tonight. But I'm not going to be a doormat for all the frustration and unhappiness that you or Aunt Kate or anyone else wants to lay at my feet. I did not create this universe. I don't decide who lives or dies or who's rich or poor or who feels loved and who feels deprived. If you feel cheated that Lori gets more than you, then I feel cheated that I had a husband who died at 36. And if you go on feeling that way, you're going to end up like me. With something much worse than loneliness or helplessness, and that's self-pity. Believe me, there's no leg that's twisted or bent that's more crippling than a human who thrives on his own misfortune. After a while, it becomes your life's work, and it doesn't bring any money into the house. If it's taken your pain and Aunt Kate's anger to get me to start living again, then God will give me the strength to make it up to you. But I won't go back to being that frightened, helpless woman that I created. I've already buried someone I love. Now it's time to bury someone I hate.
I didn't ask you to hate yourself. I just asked you to love me.
I do. Why can't I make that clear to you?
I feel so terrible.
Why?
Because I hurt you and I still want that job with Mr. Beckman.
I know you do.
But I can't have it, can I?
How can I answer that without you thinking I'm still depriving you?
I don't know. Maybe you just did.
I hope so.
I heard voices downstairs. I didn't know who it was.
I'm sorry we woke you. Go to sleep, we'll talk in the morning.
Is she all right?
She's fine.
She's not angry anymore.
No, Kate, no one's angry anymore. I just explained to her what's going to happen. Make sure the girls do their fair share of work, especially Lori. I've kept her being a baby long enough.
They've never been any trouble to me, those girls. Never.
I'll try to take them on the weekends if I can. We could both use a good night's sleep if it's late.
Blanche! Don't go. I feel badly enough for what I said. Don't make me feel any worse.
Everything you said to me tonight was true, Kate. I wish to God you said it years ago.
What would I do without you? Who else do I have to talk to all day? What friends do I have in this neighborhood? Even the Murphys across the street are leaving.
You and I never had any problems before tonight. It's the girls I'm thinking of now. We have to be together, the three of us. It's what they want as much as I do.
All right. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. But you're not going to find a job overnight. Apartments are expensive. While you're looking, why do you have to stay with strangers in Manhattan Beach?
Louise isn't a stranger. She's a good friend.
To me, good friends are strangers. But sisters are sisters.
I'm afraid of becoming comfortable here, Kate. If I don't get out now, when am I ever going to do it?
The door is open for whenever you like. When you found the job, when you found the apartment, I'll help you move. I can look with you. I know how to bargain with these landlords.
You do that for me?
They see a woman all alone, they take advantage of you. I'll find out what they're asking for the Murphy place. It couldn't be expensive. She never cleaned it.
How independent can I be if I live right across the street from you?
Far enough away for you to close your own door, yet close enough for me not to feel so lonely.
If I lived in the moons to be close to you, Kate.
I'll tell Jack. He wouldn't go to sleep until I promised to come up with some good news.
You know, I feel really hungry.
Of course, you haven't had dinner. Come on, I'll make some scrambled eggs.
I'll make them. I'm an independent woman now.
With your eyes, you'd never get the eggs in the pan.
So Aunt Blanche decided to stay while she was looking for a job. Nora went back to school the next day, gave me a big hello, and her legs looked as creamy white as ever. Lori was asked to take out the garbage, but she suddenly got a flutter, and I had to do it. Life was back to normal.
Eugene, go back to Greenblatt's. I need flour.
How much, a teaspoonful? Stanley didn't come home that night. And although Mom didn't say anything, I knew she was plenty worried. She broke the news to Pop how Stanley lost the salary gambling, and from the noise coming out of that room, I figured Stanley should forget about the Army and try for the Foreign Legion. And then suddenly, the next night around dinner time, I saw Stanley coming down the street. He was home. I was never so happy to see anybody in my whole life.
Hi. Where's Mom and Pop?
Well, Mom's in the kitchen, and Pop's upstairs with his grandma. They figured if God couldn't bring you home, maybe a potato pancakes could. Did you join anything?
I came pretty close. I passed the physical, 1, 2, 3.
I knew you would.
They were giving me donuts, cigarettes, and the whole sales pitch. I mean, they really wanted me.
I'll bet.
But then, just as I was about to sign my name, I stopped cold. I put down the pen and said, "I'm sorry, maybe some other time," and walked out.
Why? What happened?
I couldn't do it to Pop. Right now, he needs me more than the Army does. I knew Mom didn't mean it when she said she'd never forgive me for losing the money. But if I walked out on the family now, maybe she never would.
Well, I thought you'd be halfway to training camp by now. I'm glad you're home, Stan. I am very glad that you are home, Stan. I missed you.
Eugene, go back to Greenblatt's. I need flour.
How? Stanley's home.
Hello, Mom.
Get a 2-pound bag of sugar. I want to make a chocolate cake.
A 2-pound bag from Greenblatt's. I'll need identification.
Are you staying for dinner?
I'm staying as long as you'll let me stay.
Why wouldn't I let you stay? This is your home. Your father's been very worried. I think you owe him some sort of explanation.
I was just about to do that. Hi, Pop. How you feeling? I'm sorry about not coming home last night. I know it was wrong. I just didn't know how to tell you about the money. I know it doesn't help to say I'll never do it again, because I won't. I swear, never. I've got $3. Last night, I went to Dominic's bowling alley, and I set pins until midnight. And I can make another 6 on the weekend, so that makes 9. I'll get the $17 back, Pop, I promise. I'm not afraid of hard work. That's the one thing you always taught me. Hard work and principles. That's the code I'm going to live by for the rest of my life. So, if you have anything you want to say to me, I'd be very glad to listen.
Did you read the paper tonight, Stanley?
No, Pop.
It's going to be a war, Stanley. A terrible war.
I know, Pop.
The biggest war the world has ever seen. And it frightens me. They're still not over the last one yet. Already they're starting another one.
Well, we don't talk about it much at the store, because of Mrs. Stroheim being German and all.
My brother Michael was killed in the last war. I told you that.
He showed me his picture in uniform.
He was 19 years old. The day he left, he didn't look any older than Eugene. He was killed the second week he was overseas.
I know.
They didn't take me because I was 16 years old. Both parents were dead, and I lived with my Aunt Rose and Uncle Maury. They had 2 sons in the Navy. Both of them wounded. Both of them decorated.
Uncle Leon and Uncle Paul, right?
My brother would have been 45 years old this month. He was a handsome boy. Good athlete, good dancer, good everything. I idolized him, like Eugene idolizes you.
No, he doesn't.
He does, believe me. I hear him talking with his friends. My brother this, my brother that. Brothers can talk to each other the way fathers and sons never do. I never knew a thing about girls until my brother taught me. Isn't it like that with you and Eugene?
Yeah, I tell him a few things.
That's good. I'm glad you're so close. I missed all that when Michael went away. That's why I'm glad you didn't do anything foolish last night. I was afraid maybe you'd run away. I hear you talking with Eugene sometimes about the Army. That day'll come soon enough, I'm afraid.
I did think about it. It was on my mind.
Don't you know there's nothing you could do that was ever so terrible I couldn't forgive you? I know why you gambled. I know how terrible you felt. It was foolish. You know that already. I've lost money gambling in my time. I know what it's like.
You did?
You think your father's a perfect human being. Someday I'll tell you some other things I did that wasn't so perfect. Not even your mother knows. If you grow up thinking your father is a perfect person, you'll hate yourself for every mistake you ever make. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's what you got a mother and father to do.
Well, you're not hard on me. You're always fair.
I try to be, Stanley. You're a good son. You don't even realize that. We have men in our cutting room who haven't spoken to their sons in 5, 6 years. Boys who have no respect for anyone, including themselves. Who've never worked a day in their lives. Or have ever brought their parents a single day's pleasure. Thank God I can't say that about you, Stanley.
I gambled away $17, and you're telling me how terrific I am?
Hey, wait a minute. Don't get the wrong idea. If you were here last night when your mother told me, I would have thrown you and your clothes out the window. Today I'm calmer. Today I read the newspaper. Today I'm afraid for all of us.
I understand.
Tonight, after dinner, you give your mother $3 and apologize.
I will.
And apologize to your Aunt Blanche, because she was worried about you too.
I will.
And you can also thank Eugene. He came into my room this afternoon to tell me how badly you felt. He was almost in tears himself. The way he pleaded your case, I thought I had Clarence Starrow in the room.
Eugene's a terrific kid.
All right, go upstairs and wash up. And tonight, you and I are going out in the backyard, and I'm going to teach you how to play poker.
Terrific.
Is Eugene back yet?
No, Mom.
You look tired. Did you get any sleep?
I gotta know. I slept at a friend's house. Mom, can I talk to you after dinner?
Where am I going? To a nightclub?
I'll wash up and be right down.
Stanley? You didn't join anything, did you?
No, Mom.
We've got time yet. The family's growing up fast enough.
Yes, Mom.
It's all right. Everything is all right.
Who said it wasn't? Didn't I say you'd be home? Laurie, call your sister. Time to set the table.
I just broke the world record to the green lights. Next year I'm entering the grocery store Olympics. Here's some milk for you, Pop.
Is that my sweet cream?
Yeah, never spilled a drop. The perfect run. Where's Stanley?
He's cleaning up. Oh my God, I've got jury duty next week.
So you're back in the family?
Yeah, everything's great.
Great. You want to take a walk tonight out on the beach? See what's doing?
I can't tonight. I'm busy.
Doing what?
I got a poker game.
Are you serious?
Yeah, tonight, right after dinner.
I can't believe you, Stan. You're crazy. You're genuinely crazy. If you lose this time, I'm not gonna stick up for you.
If you don't tell anybody, I'll give you a present.
What kind of present?
Are you going to tell?
No! What's my present?
Here, it's for you.
What is it?
Put it in a safe spot. Don't open it so quickly. Slower. Slower than that. Close your eyes. Now look.
Oh my God! She's completely naked! You can see everything!
Lower your voice. Do you want to get caught with a thing like that?
Who is she? Where's she from?
She's French. That's how all the women are in Paris.
I can't believe I'm looking at this. You mean some woman actually laid there and let some guy take a picture? She just posed for this?
Laurie, Nora, time for dinner.
It belongs to the guy who owes me $2.50. I can keep it till he pays me back.
Let him owe you for a while. Don't take the money.
That's my appreciation for being a good luck.
Hey, anytime you need a favor, just call me.
Don't leave it lying around the room. Come on, it's dinner.
Kate, where's Kate?
Don't run. You're always running.
It's a letter from London. My cousin Sholem, they got out. They're free, Kate.
Thank God.
His wife, his mother, all 4 children. They're sailing for New York tomorrow. They'll be here in a week.
In a week?
Do they speak English?
I don't think so. A few words, maybe. They had to sell everything. They took only what they could carry.
Where are they going to live?
We'll have to discuss it with the family. Some with Uncle Leon, Uncle Paul.
With us. We can put some beds in the dining room. It's easier to eat in the kitchen anyway.
The little ones can sleep with Laurie. Nora, you can sleep with me, can't you? Of course, Mama.
Don't worry about money, Pa. I'm going to hit Mrs. Stroheim for that raise.
They got out. That's all that's important. They got out.
Eugene, we're all waiting for you.
In a minute, I have to write something down. October 25th, 6:25 p.m. a momentous moment in the life of I, Eugene Morris Jerome. I have seen the Golden Palace of the Himalayas. Puberty is over.